Coin on.
Hello, YouTube coin community. It's me, Robert, with CoinUp. In today's year in review, we're going to look at the year 1976. Now, this was the bicentennial year of the United States, and they celebrated it with a set of coins, so we'll be looking at some of them. Now, I do want to take and mention that the coins that you'll be looking at, these are some of the best graded coins, highest graded, or some of the scarcest coins out there. Sometimes you can take and get scarcity from just having a high grade. They call that condition rarity. So with that in mind, don't expect to be picking these coins out of pocket change. You're not going to do it. I get a lot of foreign people asking me to buy your coins because you got 4, 5, or 6 of them. If everybody had 4, 5, or 6, they wouldn't have this kind of value. So these are coins that have been handpicked by many experts. Now, do me a favor, we hope you hit the thumbs up, we hope you subscribe, hit the bell if you want to be notified whenever we go live. We have a live auction every Monday and Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as well as on Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You must register, so read the guidelines in one of the older auctions and it'll let you know that. So without further ado, let's go ahead and let's take a look and see some of the history of what happened in the United States in 1976. And one other note, I have a lot of people bringing up other issues of other things that happened that I don't cover. I don't want to make these videos a half an hour, 2 hours long, so I'm trying to keep them limited to 10-15 minutes, just so that we can take and we'll also have an opportunity to show more varieties in different videos and have it of the same year. So without further ado, let's see what happened, and I'll be back a little later to talk with you then. In 1976, an ounce of gold would have cost you $124.74 an ounce on average. A half gallon of milk at the grocery store would have cost you 83 cents. A dozen eggs at the grocery store would have cost you 85 cents per dozen, and a loaf of bread would have cost you 35 cents per loaf. Moving on to the gas pump, the average price for a gallon of gas in 1976 was 59 cents. The average price for an automobile was $5,416, and they were getting smaller due to the OPEC crisis. The average price of a house would have cost you $43,400. On April 13th, 1976, the new $2 Bicentennial bill was issued as currency. It was first released, as I said, on April 13th, and this just so happened to be Thomas Jefferson's birthday, and is still in print to this day, and it accounts for about 1% of all currency in the United States. Although everyone had been starting celebrating as of January 1st of 76, the true beginning of the bicentennial started July 4th, 1976. This is when the true celebration began. Now, they did a lot of things to the coins. They had silver, which was the first thing they had done on the quarter, the half dollar, and the Eisenhower dollar. All the coins had a new look, and they'd been minted since 1975 as far as those 3 coins. And in Washington, D.C., there was one of the most spectacular fireworks displays and one of the longest displays of fireworks that this country had seen in its entire history. It was actually a beautiful show. I remember watching it on TV. And 10 months later, on July 20th, 1976, Viking 1 landed on Mars. This was the first mission to land a spacecraft on Mars and return images of the surface back to Earth. The Soviet Union Mars 3 was actually the first one to land. However, it only transmitted information for about 14.5 seconds. Vikings 1 mission lasted 2,370 days, and 7 days, and it was considered a complete success. Now let's go look at some coins for the year 1976. The first one we're going to look at is going to be a Lincoln cent, and it's dated 1976. In a mint state 63, the value of them is only about $3. In a mint state 66, they're worth about $26. However, if you can find a Mint State 68, they're worth $4,500. Now, the record was set on January 8th, 2014 at a heritage auction where a Mint State 68 sold for $7,931. The next coin we're going to look at is a 1976 Jefferson nickel. Again, in a Mint State 63 full step, they're worth about $6. In a Mint State 66 full step, they're worth about $1,100. And a Mint State 67 full step, the value is about $3,500. The record was set on February 3rd, 2010 at a heritage auction where a Mint State 67 full step sold for $4,025. We're going to also look at the Roosevelt dime. In 1976, there's not a lot of a population. I'm not certain what's going on there. So if you have some Roosevelt dimes, you may want to look at them if they're in mint sets or, just mint sets. Or if you happen to take and have rolls of the Bicentennial year dimes. In a Mint State 65, there's only a pop of one and there's no price for it. In a Mint State 66, there's a price tag of $2,000 on PCGS's website with a population of only 3 known to exist at this time. The record was set on September 5th of 2018 on an eBay auction where a Mint State 66 full band sold for $2,695. And by the way, those grades of 65 and 66 I told you about, those were for full bands as well. Now on the Washington Quarter Series, there had some double dies in there. We're only going to look at the Feva Stanton 101, which is a double die obverse. Here again, there's not a whole lot in high grade. So an AU58, the value of them is about $700. Mint State 63, about $1,100. In a Mint State 65, they only had a pop of 2 and no price at PCGS's website. However, on July 14th of 2019 at a heritage auction, a Mint State 65 sold for $3,246. Now this next coin that I'm about to show you, don't expect to be finding it in pocket change or anywhere else for that matter. This is the Eisenhower dollar Bicentennial 1976. No mint mark. There's just no mint mark on it. Now there's a lot of speculation as to how it actually got out, because when the original designers were allowed to strike them to put them on display at the ANA show, they took, and Mary Brooks was the mint director at the time, and assured everybody that these coins were all destroyed and replaced with ones that had the S mint mark. However, Frank Gasparo took, and he was the designer of the actual coins, and he took, and the thick lettering was just too much, and they modified the hub to make it a thin lettering. That's our Type 2 reverse. Now this here, they theorized that Frank had taken and maybe struck one at the Philadelphia Mint and sent it to the original designer for his approval. This is the best argument you can take and that you can make about it. However, the story is that the one that was found at a Washington, D.C. suburb, and somebody pulled it out of a Woodward and Lathrop department store in the D.C. district area. I don't know. Anybody's guess is as good as mine. Again, don't be looking at your proof sets. You're not going to find it. There's just not one there. Now I'm going to take and just show you a photograph or a picture close-up of both the obverse and the reverse of the coin. Even though, again, you will not own it unless you happen to be lucky enough or rich enough to buy it. This is just to give you an idea of what it looks like. And again, remember, there's only a pop of one. And as far as I know, it's in strong hands and it's not planning on being sold anytime soon. But who knows? Maybe it will. And there you have it. This has been my year in review, 1976. Now, I added the Eisenhower dollar there at the end because it's part of our history. Even though there's only going to be one of us owning it, it is still part of our history. And also, by the way, PCGS has a value of it of $850,000. I thought I should mention that as well. We hope you liked the video. We hope you subscribe. And we hope you share this with a friend. If you hit the bell, you'll be notified anytime we go live, and we have live auctions every Monday and Friday at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as well as on Wednesdays at 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, we know that only about 40% of you are our subscribers who view this video, so we hope you'll reconsider and subscribe. Watch some of our other videos, as all we're trying to do is help educate people in the hobby. So take care, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful week, and as I always like to say, happy hunting.